So you're running a business, and I want you guys to really understand that. This class isn't about design. This class is all about the business stuff that you're gonna need to know. And I think that within that, there's 4 skills that you have to have. You don't have to be great at these, but you have to know that they're part of running a business. You can find help if you're not good at them, if you don't like them. You might also wanna find help because why you don't go into business for yourself to do stuff that you hate, right? Like, I didn't like my corporate job. Now I'm a freelance designer. It's so amazing. And I spend all of my time doing math and accounting, and I hate math. That doesn't seem that much better. So let's talk about what those skills are. So the first one is marketing. Next one, business development. And we talked a little about what is business development? We're going to talk a little bit more about what that is today. Project management, this is a big one. And the last is accounting, math. Oh, designers and math. Do you guys like math? I mean, I appreciate math. Don't get me wrong, but I just, I'm not that great at math. I'll just say it. So let's go a little bit deeper on each of these 4. The first is critical thinking. You're going to have to think critically about the opportunity, right? What is this project, and how does it show up in the world? Is the client are the client aspirations achievable or real, right? So the critical thinking is your point of view about it. Can I do this work? Can I help them be successful? Can they be successful without me? Am I the right person? You're going to have to think really deeply about what these potential projects are. The next is research. You always have to be prepared. If you're talking to a new client, you better have gone to their website before you have a phone call with them. You better have looked them up on LinkedIn, right? And this is just in the kind of winning business part of things, or having a good business rapport, but also researching the space. Let's say you win the project and it's in real estate. It's a website for a real estate company. You may be a great web designer and totally able to do that, but not know anything about real estate really. And you gotta get at least a basic primer and understand that. The next is solid communication skills. You're going to be communicating a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, a lot of conversation. And I really believe in the conversation part of it and the clarification part of it, because ultimately you work for yourself and you have a certain amount of hours in the day. You have financial goals that you want to achieve, and you don't want to be reworking and doing things that are to address miscommunications or a lack of understanding between you and your client, because that's wasting your time, right? And that's wasting money. And so I communicate as much as you can up front, because you're clarifying and you're really getting to a distilled, shared understanding of what it is that you're going to make and do, and then the work is easy. When it goes the other way, it can be tough. So, ability to present your work and present your work with confidence and tell a story. So I have a story about telling stories, and it is that when I worked at Zynga, we worked on redesigning the logo, and the designer that we worked with was extremely talented. He's absolutely amazing, and one of the challenges with the logo was that because Zynga is a game company, there's a lot of game art that the logo has to appear on. So it's very complicated, bright colors, lots of stuff going on. And then how do you put a logo on top of that, right? It's messy visually, it's a cacophonous environment. And so he put the logo in a square, right? He put the dog and the typography in a square, and he called it the containing shape. And the thing about the containing shape was, it elevated the conversation from, I don't like square. Why is the logo in a square? I don't like squares. It looks weird in a square, right? Everybody's opinion about the squares. And he talked about how, because the logo was in this containing shape, it could protect all the clear space that it needed around it. Logos usually have clear space, and that's part of when you hand that off in guidelines, right? So how much negative space is going to go around the logo? But he doubled that by putting it in this box, right? And then he talked about how then the logo would be elevated from the plane of the games, and it would be that that Zynga, the company, was providing the provider of the experience, right? I still remember all of that. He told us all of that. Beautiful, articulate sell. Like, now all of a sudden we're on this journey with him about what this logo is designed to do, right? And it's not about, like, I don't care if you don't like squares. This logo has a job to do, and we all know what that logo's job is. I wish that we could all be as brilliant and masterful as he is. But it's that kind of thing, right? You're going to have to sort of think through the process of that you're taking this client on, this journey, and you're going to have to navigate some of that subjective conversation around work. And the last one is empathy. So empathy is a big thing. Empathy is a big thing in design. Empathy is a really important big thing in life. But that really means an understanding of someone else's feelings, right? Really being able to understand someone else's feelings. And it's important to understand what your client's feelings are, definitely. But what I think is more important is understanding the audience's feelings as well, right? So as a designer, it's your job to hear something, and then you conjure that thing up into the world, right? I mean, what other job is as cool as that? I think there are probably some, but it's really, and you're a photographer, and what other way can you spend your time in life that is more amazing than having an idea and like manifesting it, right? Like making something in service of creative expression is so cool. But you have a little bit of responsibility in that. You know, a client may say that they want their business to grow this way or do this, and they want you to design this, but you have to understand how that's going to resonate with the audience and make sure that you're an advocate for the audience too. And the way that you do that is through understanding the needs of your audience, right? So you're understanding the task and the job, but you're really paying attention to some of the emotional aspects of the work too. So business development, what is business development? I don't even know, I had to look it up. No, but this is a dictionary definition, and actually I think this is from a Forbes article. And so the definition here is business development is the creation of long-term value for an organization from customers, markets, and relationships. So this is about understanding how your business is gonna grow, where to find your audience, right? This is about understanding what is unique to your service offering and how to convey that to potential clients and how to win work. So ability to find audience for your service offering. Who needs what I do, you know, right? Am I just a really amazing illustrator and all I want is advertising clients? Right? So where are those advertising clients? Who are those advertising clients? How am I going to get on the advertising clients' radar? Where do the advertising clients, the people who hire illustrators for the advertising clients, where do they look for people, right? Where are they looking for illustrators? How am I going to get myself there? What do I need to do to get myself there? Pitching and winning work, right? So really being able to describe what you do and getting in a room and convincing people of that, or getting on a phone call and convincing people of that. Vision to create partnerships. So this is about, I think when you're an individual freelancer, this is about finding people that have a complementary skill set to you so that maybe you can team up with them and win bigger projects. So, you know, you might do only front-end design, and you might need someone who can do coding for you, and you're going to go to a meetup and try to find a partner in that. So the next time somebody approaches you about a end-to-end, you know, they need something designed and coded, you're not going to say, oh geez, I can't do that. You're going to say, this is so great. But it's the business development hat that you're wearing that would have had the foresight to understand how to create long-term value for your business. Long-term value is how to grow it, how to win work, how to do things that you're not doing now, how to improve that part of it, and the drive to hustle. So we talked about not being an introvert. It's totally okay if you are an introvert, by the way, but you got to challenge yourself to get a little bit outside of that, or find strategies that that work for you, to make sure that you're getting yourself out there. So project management. Do you guys do project management for yourselves, or is anyone a practicing freelance designer here right now? Yeah. Do you do project management?
I mean, as much as I need to. My projects are pretty small, so
yeah. Yeah. Do you take on more than one project at a time?
Yes, for sure.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So project management, definitely a hat you need to wear. Do you find yourself doing it, do you know you're actively doing it, or it's just like something that you kind of do a little bit?
I think it's just something that I kind of do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not that great at it yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you are a designer, it's highly likely that you're a systems thinker, right? We make a list of ingredients, whatever those design ingredients are, and then we apply them to a set of conditions over time, right? But you're trying to keep that as consistency. So I think the kind of systems thinking, the planning is innate to a lot of designers. It's just how you approach the work when you think through things. But scoping projects is really, really important, right? Scoping projects is important because you want to know before you say yes that it's probably going to take you a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever it is, because you need to load balance the work that you're taking in to keep yourself employed, right? To keep yourself going. So you need to load balance. And you also have to develop this kind of muscle that will happen for you over time to figure out what your pace is. I'm fast at designing logos, but I'm really slow at doing websites, or I'm a terrible illustrator, so I would never even take that on. I need to find somebody to help me with that. The next is understanding how to prioritize. So I think in your example, every client thinks their thing is really important, and you have to be able to figure out, like, okay, today I'm going to do, half a day on this client and half a day on another client, or actually, client B is going to have to wait, until next week because I simply can't do that this week. Ability to calendar the work and understand how it's going to unfold, right? So, again, is it going to take 2 weeks? What are the steps that are going to get me there? Skilled at managing time and scope. So you have to manage this for yourself. So not only are you a freelance designer, but you're your boss. So now that you know that you're your boss, like, do you really want you, like the employee version of you, to be spending twice as much time as you're getting paid for to do something? Or do you really want your employee you to be working nights and weekends because you just can't, like, you just couldn't get the stuff done, or or it's too much, or whatever that is. So you have a responsibility to yourself as your boss, as the boss of yourself, to be a good boss to yourself, and then good at explaining what's going on. So I think part of keeping your clients happy is being able to let them know, take them on the journey with you, let them know where you are in the process, reporting to them clearly, and not the bad stuff. Like, if the printer didn't work, and that's why you're late, and you ran out of ink and all that stuff, not important. That's an overshare. I mean, depending on your rapport with the client, but I think you always want to make sure your clients feel that they can trust you, and that you have the work handled. It's okay to admit that things have gone wrong, but they're not your friend, right? I think they might become your friend, but it's your job to really have that empathy again, and try to communicate to them the things that that they value and are important. Okay, so does anyone use Basecamp?
I have.
You have, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Basecamp is a project management tool online. And it can be used for collaboration, and it can also be used just independently. And when I first started freelancing again about a year ago, a project I was working on with a group of people, they were using Basecamp, And I just decided to use it for myself. I had so much going on that it was just like too many things to keep track of. And I had stuff in email and I had stuff all over the place. So this is just a screenshot, which is a little bit hard to see, but at the top there's a discussion area. So instead of being an email, and you've got 10 other client emails going on, 10 other threads, and it's like, oh, client B is like all the way down here because all this whole other thing is happening in my inbox. All the discussions are clustered. There's to-do lists. I'm like a big list writer for myself. I have lists everywhere. I have it on my phone. I have like pieces of paper everywhere. But this is meant to be your only to-do list. You can upload files, so it's a really cool tool. But there's lots of other tools out there. There's something called Asana that people like a lot. There's even more robust tools for teams like Pivotal Tracker. But if project management is not a strength of yours, or if you're looking for a tool that can help you, there are things that can help you. It doesn't have to be like total inbox chaos. The next is accounting. So you have to be able to plan and run your business financials. How much money do you want to make? What's your overhead? What's your profit margin? These are all decisions that you're going to decide for yourself. And we're going to go through them in a little bit greater detail. You have to be able to track and manage your time accurately and your expenses. So some of the clients that you work with you're going to work on an hourly rate, and you have to be able to track that. You have to write down your hours. And I remember as a designer when I worked in-house, some places wanted us to track our hours, and I was like totally against it. I just thought like, oh, they're spying on me, or whatever it is. And I had to do it anyway. But it became really instructive, right? So this ability to scope projects that we talked about a little earlier, you have to know you are your boss and you are your company's only resource, right? And resource means employee in this instance. And you have to know how much time you have available, how much time it's going to take you to do stuff. And you want to get good at predicting that for yourself and developing that level of accuracy and that muscle. The other thing is expenses. So some of the things that you do for your clients, you're going to negotiate that your clients pay for. So you have to have a good way to keep all those expenses in one place and a system for that, and invoicing in a timely manner. So the other thing is, you're in charge of not only your boss and deciding what it is that you're going to do and how you spend your time, but you're also the person who has to go out and say, now it's time to pay me. And when you ask to be paid from a business, the way that you do that is through an invoice. So I use FreshBooks for that. There's lots of other tools out there. I like FreshBooks because I can do time tracking, and I can have my expenses. I can invite people in. If I hire a subcontractor, I can put them in FreshBooks for that. And even when I track my own time, even when I track my time through a company's time tracking system, one of my clients right now wants me to track my time in something called Paymo. So I do that, but I also track it in my FreshBooks account because I want to have my own records of my business for the year, and this is a way that I do that. I think it's $10 a month or something like that, and I think Basecamp is maybe free for the first project or free for a period of time, and then it's $10 a month if you have lots of information in there. Okay, so gut check. Who's ready? So we know these 4 skills, right? We know marketing, business development, project management, and accounting, right? We just talked about that. And you guys did a little homework, and I asked you to rate on a scale of 1 to 5 how good you think you are at each of those 4 skills and how much you like it. So is there a brave soul that would like to come up and share? Anybody? Oh my God, there's no brave soul. Oh my God, thank you, Courtney, thank you. Do you want to come up or do you want to sit there? I don't know.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Come up.
Yeah, come
Do
up.
I stand here?
Okay, yeah, awesome.
I should probably put this down.
Yeah.
I've memorized
Okay.
them.
Oh, you did? Oh, awesome. Okay, good. So Marketing. How good do you think you are?
I actually probably think I'm the best at that,
Cool.
but I still rated myself at a 3.
Okay, so why do you think you're good at it?
Because I actually worked in a marketing job before I
Cool.
started doing freelancing. And I do cinematography, but I still find similarities with the design I'm talking about. But yeah, so I enjoy it.
Oh, you
which
do?
Is why I think
okay,
I'm
good. Okay, good.
best at
Okay,
it.
so marketing, check. Okay, good. What business development?
I also said a 3, but I don't think I'm as good at that.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot that I need to work on
Okay.
with developing my business.
And can you think of one thing that you would do
Differently?
in service of that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I think I need to be a little bit braver in the hustle.
Yeah.
In finding clients and just having more self-confidence in my skill.
Yeah.
So that is my big thing this year.
I think the self-confidence thing is really huge.
Yeah.
Only in the last couple years have I really focused on my bio and writing my bio. And I've done a few speaking engagements in the last few years too. And I gotta tell you, saying my bio out loud the first couple times freaked me out.
Yeah.
Like, it's really scary. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. But I think we all struggle with self-confidence. And the more you do it, the more easy it's gonna be for you. Yeah, and the thing is, you have the skills and you have the experience. The only thing that's missing is your ability to take ownership of that.
Yeah.
You know, and like practice in front of a mirror. I'm serious. Practice in front of your friends. Like you're gonna get there. Yeah.
Which feels good.
So business development, you think you're okay at it, but you don't like it, or you.
I do. I just have always worked under people,
Yeah.
and so I want to kind of get to a place where I feel confident on my own doing it myself.
Yeah, and the cool part about business development that I like too is I like meeting people, and I like being able to connect people, and I like being able to draw on those relationships and experiences in other relationships and experiences. So let's say that you're a cinematographer, is that what you said? So let's say that you, you know, I don't know if you edit or not, but let's say that you didn't edit, you know, but you needed an editor. And so you started going and meeting editors and this, that, and the other thing. You know, you might never make a partnership with one of those editors, but that editor is going to refer you. Or the experience of having met that editor you know, is gonna get you your next cinematography job or whatever that is, you know. So you just you might come to them for something, but they may actually, and that might not work, but they may come back to you. So I think once you kind of get in there, it's actually really cool and rewarding.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, project management.
So that I also rated myself at a 3, but I'm still trying to figure that out as well with the business development. I felt like they went hand in hand when it came to cinematography.
Yeah.
So I need to get a little bit better on that. More time tracking, stuff along those lines, which I know is also accounting.
Yeah, totally. Do you like project management or?
I actually do. I think I could be much better at it if I really tracked myself, and I think I would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I feel it has the potential to go up to at least a 4.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I just need to practice it a little
Yeah.
bit more.
Okay. Well, I know you can go to 5 on all this stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah. Totally. And then what about accounting?
That was a big old 1. I can't stand accounting.
I can't stand accounting either. In fact, I think I bought like Financial Planning for Dummies.
I should do that actually.
Yeah, right. And I have Paper Jam Press, the small business, and I think I also took a webinar on like small business accounting, and it still didn't stick. And I hired a bookkeeper. Like I just I don't know, you know. So I think it's good to investigate that, and it's good to understand what that function does for your business. But if you're not good at it, and you don't have to be amazing, that's the other thing, is you just have to have the competency in it. And I think what you do have to be amazing at knowing is whether you should be doing, like if it's not gonna work for you, don't feel that you have to do it, but know that to have a healthy business, someone has to be doing it. Yeah.
So outsourcing, would you recommend?
Yeah, or try a tool like FreshBooks or QuickBooks or something like that, where where those tools are designed to basically do stuff for you. All you do is enter your information, like, this was my expenses, this was my time, and they generate all these reports for you.
Which is great.
Yeah, which are like things that I didn't even know existed, like a P&L, that's a profit and loss statement. You're like, what is that? But that actually is a report. Right, but that's a report that tells you about, the financial health of your business. And so anyway, so I think that there's definitely tools out there. Will you tell everybody like your name and do you have a website or about your cinematography stuff?
My name is Courtney Kester, and I am a cinematographer, a freelance cinematographer.
Cool.
My website is ckester, which is my first and last name, CKOESTER, inspired.com.
Cool.
And you can find me easiest on Instagram at cbkester.
Awesome. What kind of work do you do?
So I really like lifestyle cinematography.
Yeah.
I like telling people stories and really giving people the platform to be their authentic self. And so I'm seeking out opportunities to do that in whether it's business, whether it's someone's wedding and they're sharing their love story, or just in interviews in general.
Cool.
So
cool. Thank you.
This year for me.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Yeah.
We
Awesome.
have time for one more assessment.
Okay.
I wanted to do that.
Okay. Come on. Oh my God, you guys are like,
I think they're gonna make you pick one.
Yay! Jen.
You inspired me.
Well, there's 2 people in class named Jen, so you got to cheer too.
Okay.
All right, ready? Marketing.
So marketing, so I gave myself a 3 for both, how good I am in it and how much I like it.
Okay.
And mostly because in the corporate world I have a sales and marketing background. So I'm pretty comfortable. And even if I'm not great at certain areas, I actually sort of like doing the research and figuring out now kind of what's happening.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, so I feel like, what I don't know, I'm actually kind of happy to learn. So
Yeah.
And
Cool.
I feel the same about business development a little bit. I probably don't have the skills, so how good am I? I give myself a 2.
Yeah.
But how much do I like it? It's probably somewhere between a 3 or a 4.
Yeah, I mean, sort of in between marketing and business development is sales, right?
Yeah.
And I do not like anything that feels like sales. It makes me super uncomfortable. But there's kind of a lot of power in it, like, when people are really good at it and you're like, oh man, that is so cool. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we talked a little bit about this yesterday too,
Right.
but curiosity can kind of get you through that. And I like that information too. Like even hearing JP yesterday talk about where he drew his advice from is kind of crazy, but it piqued my interest, right? You kind of, you want to just learn what's out there and then take in, for yourself what you can. So, okay, project management.
So project management is probably the least experience. And to be honest with you, I think I'm so new at with freelance photography of how long things are going to take, that's kind of actually probably the biggest place that I have to grow. So I'm probably at a 1.
Yeah.
And I don't really know, I'm a pretty organized person, but in terms of software too and the back end of things, I really do need to learn how long things will take.
Yeah.
So I've kind of got it actually down to, I know certain things I can do, like I can do headshots quickly, and I can take them well enough that actually there's not a lot of back end and people are happy.
Yeah.
Right? If I wanted to expand that though and take on more work,
Yeah.
I think actually I would have to learn a little more about how long, what projects to take.
Yeah.
Which is what you were talking about earlier.
So in terms of the project management thing, I think one thing that you could do is first make your guess, right? You're going to be wrong, but just make your guess.
Yeah.
And then double it. And then see how you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or and then if it's like, oh my God, that was not even enough, then triple it the next time, right? But you're gonna have to have some way to develop that muscle for yourself.
Yeah.
And as you do more freelance photography, you're gonna get faster over time anyway.
Yeah.
But I just think put a line in the ground and say, you know what, it's gonna be 20 hours this time. Am I gonna lose money on the job because I underbid the hours? Maybe. But you're definitely going to learn from that, and you're not going to do it next time. You're going to do it better next time. You're not going to make the same mistake next time. Next time you're going to do it in a different way. And the other thing is, get a free FreshBooks account or something else and track your hours. So just start recording it and see, gosh, I thought I was fast at doing headshots, and it turns out like that took me all day,
Yeah.
you know, or something like that.
Yeah.
What about accounting?
Accounting, it's decent, but at some point I'd pass it off. But I
Yeah.
can sort of, I mean, I do Quicken for my own personal accounting, so I kind of, to be honest, like I know what software I'm comfortable with.
Oh, good, good.
Which I sort of feel is
Great.
half the battle.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeping your receipts, knowing what software you can do, and then I could probably like you at some stage it'll be a little bit like project management. Like at some stage I'll be like, okay,
Yeah,
this is too much for me.
yeah, yeah,
But,
definitely.
I definitely feel like when I heard you guys talking about confidence, I would say my confidence level is going to come somewhere between the project management and the accounting. Like that's where I need to step forward. In terms of sales, like all the relationship building stuff, I'm confident at.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in, and that feels natural to me.
Yeah, I love that you are so clear about that for yourself. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
No, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So you're a freelance photographer. Will you tell everyone about your freelance photography?
Yeah, so actually, so what I love to do is help people get their blogs and websites started by actually really capturing their essence and helping them tell their natural story.
Cool.
Like their bio,
Yeah.
you know, who they are, why they started their business, what they do, doing headshots. So I have a website, it's jenbaxter.com. I've done a lot of travel photography too, because I've spent some time traveling and lifestyle, but I really love sort of people and working with people, and so what I want to move into more is helping people with their businesses, like getting their next step started by really capturing kind of who they are and what they're doing and helping them tell their story visually.
Yeah, you might have some clients in this room today. Everybody, Jen Baxter.
Great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you. I love that you guys are coming up here with me.
Puts other people in the hot seat, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and this is in the deck, and hopefully, anybody who's at home, you're doing this for yourself, right? So really take the time to do it. It'll take you like 5 minutes. But I think it's very instructive. And I think the how much you like doing it, it's worth considering that as well, right? Because even though you're running your own business and you're an individual, it's likely, it's okay to ask for help from other services that are complementary. Maybe it's freelancers, maybe it's other services, it's online tools, but it's absolutely fine to do that. I used to think, like, if I was doing the work, I had to do everything. I had this really weird, like, I have to do everything. I'm responsible for everything. But it's absolutely fine to find people or services that can help you.